Welcome to your March reading. Happy birthday to my March Aries friends. I hope you guys are all doing really well. We've got some strange cosmic energies going on. We're going to talk a little bit about the astrology in the beginning, and then we'll get into the cards a little bit later. March has some big astrology. You've probably already heard a few of the things that are going to be going on. I'm offering 20% off all of my astrology and tarot readings on my website. Use the code SPRING, SPRING 23. I'll also put that in the description box. And I think it's like 95% of my readings on my website. The ones that aren't going to be that are the Saturn and Pisces reading will not be discounted. And there was one other reading. Oh, it was the 6-month reading, but I don't think that that's available anymore right now. But the Saturn and Pisces reading isn't discounted, but all of the other tarot and astrology readings, you can get a full astrology reading. You can get a solar return for 20% off right now. You can get a 30-minute tarot reading live, or you can get it recorded with me. So many opportunities, so many things there. So I just wanted to celebrate spring a little bit early. I'll probably have it going through the month, or just as long, as long as my calendar, if it gets filled up, then it won't be available anymore. But first come, first serve. And if you would like to know how Saturn or how Pisces is going to affect your natal chart directly, especially if you have Pisces placements, Pisces moon, Pisces rising, Pisces Mercury, Venus, whatever. If you want to know how Saturn is going to be affecting you in your personal chart, I still have some of that availability through March. March is going to be the last month that I offer the Saturn and Pisces reading. Okay, let's get into astrology. I've got all my notes here because I have weird brain syndrome. So, Saturn will be moving into Pisces, which is your 12th house. If you're an Aries rising, we would even look at that as your 12th house with wherever your sun is as well, if you're an Aries sun. So you are now finishing up anything that you need to do to focus on from the last several years. It'll be very tempting to fall into a sadness or a depressed state of mind, or into despair over perceived failures. Do your best to not feel guilty or brood about how you think you're inadequate. Get focused on what you desire to get accomplished. Having this Saturn in Pisces can very much help you get in touch with your spiritual side. I have natal 12th house Saturn, and it's very difficult placement. It's a really hard placement to have, so I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you guys. You could find out some, just like you could literally have like mental breakdowns. You could find out that you might even have like a physical ailment that's going on with you. But all of this stuff that goes on with the 12th house Saturn is trying to get your attention. I wish somebody would have said that to me even 30 or 20 years ago. Would have been great. Saturn in the 12th house is trying to get your attention because there are specific things that you need to pay attention to when it comes to your own spirituality. Spirituality is not that new age bullshit that's going on right now. Spirituality is being human. And the 12th house is Pisces. It's no boundaries. It's the absence of a body. Where the 6th house is where the body comes from, right? So with your 12th house Saturn, when I went through my Saturn return, so Saturn hit my 12th house Saturn 14 years ago is when my Saturn return happened. I ended up in a mental institution. Like, I'll be real with you guys. It was the first time I ended up in a mental institution. And then there were 2 other times after my Saturn return, the 7 years after my Saturn return, that happened again. So if you're coming into your Saturn return and it's 12th house Saturn, you're an Aries rising, this could be this can make or break you mentally. So really taking care of yourself, making sure that you are talking to people, higher consciousness, learning about who you are. Get a therapist if you have to. Like, honestly, there's no shame in having, I can't even count on my two hands how many therapists I've had in my lifetime. There have been a lot. I mean, like, even the therapist needs the therapist. So just like a healer needs a healer, a therapist needs. So just, this is a time for you to pay attention to what's happening up here in your mind, and not allowing it to spill out and make you think that you're just a failure. Also with the 12th house Saturn, you can feel very guilty about things that you've never done in your life. So, like if somebody's accusing you of doing something and you're like, oh my gosh, did I really do that? Like, did I do that? And I not think sometimes the 12th house Saturn isn't completely clear on whether you should be punishing yourself, giving yourself consequences or not. So this is going to show you how to stay true to you, how to stay true to yourself. The Virgo full moon will be happening in your 6th house. It will be ushering in the Saturn in Pisces. And this is really going to have you focused on your health. Again, your mental health, your physical health, all of that is going to be very, very important to you in March. Be sure that you are getting enough rest. Don't overpack your schedule. Mid-March, Jupiter will conjunct Chiron in your 1st house in Aries. You are doing expansive healing for your own self. With Jupiter and Chiron conjunction and Saturn in the 12th house, like this is going to be some really deep diving self-examination and healing within you, and, recognizing the ways that you hold yourself back in the healing process. You may find that others will be triggering you so that you can know what parts of you that need to be looked at and healed for yourself. This is not to heal yourself for other people, to make other people feel comfortable. This is for you to heal yourself so that you feel comfortable. March 21st, the Aries new moon will help to solidify your warrior stance this year. It'll be the astrological new year. Great time to start a new routine that makes you feel really good about yourself. Like working on a new physical health routine, especially since the Virgo full moon is going to be happening on the 7th. And then we have the Aries new moon on the 21st, like really focusing, because Jupiter and Chiron are still going to be there. They're still probably going to be conjunct to, like at least within a degree of each other. But, like your March is for you. And really even 2023, like I want to even say 2023 is for you, Aries. And, picking up the pieces of what's you get to take with you on your journey is going to be a really big part of 2023, because the last couple of years you've watched it happen. Things have fallen out of your life so that you can have room to make more great things happening in your life. But you can't do that when you're all bogged down by all these ideas. It's not possible that you can't do it. Yeah, so this is going to be Pluto will be ingressing Aquarius, dipping his toe into Aquarius on the 23rd. This will be in your 11th house. You could really find yourself losing friend groups or changing the way that you see your future many times over in the next couple of decades. Technology will also be changing as well and could impact you depending on your personal aspects to Pluto in your own chart. Aquarius is about humanitarian efforts and doing things as a group. And even Aquarians who don't necessarily like being around people, they still genuinely want people to feel good about themselves. Like, just because Aquarians aren't necessarily extroverts, they still, some of them are. My Aquarius rising, my youngest is an Aquarius rising. He's an extrovert, but he's also a Leo sun. So I do want to say that even though I'm reading the astrology for the rising and the sun, you can watch this reading for sun, moon, and rising. It will probably still resonate in some way for you. And then finally, Mars will be ingressing Cancer on the 25th of March after being in Gemini since August of 2022. This will be in your 4th house. you could, this will be ingressing into your fourth house. You could really find yourself updating your physical home. You could be moving, but also working with your ancestors or even starting a new physical health routine. Gut detox is a plus. So all of this stuff, even the cosmos are saying, Aries, it's time for you to focus on yourself. Aries, it's time for you to focus on yourself and to not get caught up in the distractions that are happening. There's going to be a lot of shifts that happen in the collective. There's going to be a lot of stuff that happens in the quote unquote reality. And you really will be tasked in a lot of ways to not let it get to you. Like, really just don't let it get to you. Okay, so let's see what your surrender card. We have the Power of Surrender card. So your surrender card for March is surrender to your attachment, the attachment to results. Surrender your attachment to results. It's kind of glaring, sorry. The lighting is weird. The formula for success is to do all you can to make things happen and then let go of the results. Holding on too tightly to a desired outcome can sabotage it. So surrender your attachment to results. So whatever's happening this month, like, don't over force yourself to feel like you have to do all of it all at once. Yeah, there's something about changing the way you hold on to your burdens, for sure. And it's about having a conversation. And I think that you have to have a conversation with another person in order to let go of these burdens that you've been carrying. Like, you've been carrying the load. It's not even about, at least that's your perception, that you've been carrying the load. Okay, that happens. The Page of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, the 10 of Wands, the Lovers, the King of Pentacles, and then we have the Ace of Swords with the Queen of Cups. So, Page of Swords, Wheel of Fortune, 10 of Wands. You need to have a conversation with someone, and there are two swords out here that make me want to remind you to use your words wisely, and it doesn't have to be an argument, Aries. It doesn't, like, you may feel like like you have to argue about something, or you have to state your case, or you have to defend yourself in some way, shape, or form, because something needs to change, because you have been carrying the load for way too long, and it's time for you to let all of that go. The Lovers, the King of Pentacles. Now, the Lovers for me doesn't always mean there's a strong relationship. The strong relationship should be with yourself. And we've had this discussion many, many times. You may feel extremely connected to a person, that there's something that's a huge burden about this person, and you no longer want to be carrying the load. And I feel like it's so interesting, because I have the Ace of Swords here with the Queen of Cups, and they came out together. And I feel like you're the Queen of Cups here. I feel like there's this softening that's happened, or there's this softness that's just sort of happened, and that's where you're coming from, is what this feels like to me. So let's clarify. Let's see. Hold on. There we go. Page of Swords. Is it somebody's attitude towards you that's changing? Wow, that was a lot of cards that came out for that. Okay. The Two of Swords on the Page of Swords. Very interesting. Okay. You have a decision that you need to make. You have to make this decision, and I think the decision is whether you're going to talk to somebody or not. I feel like what you're doing here is presenting someone with an opportunity or an ultimatum in some way, shape, or form. And I think that, I mean, I honestly, I don't hate ultimatums. I know a lot of people are like, well, I don't want to be boxed in. I don't want to be given this choice. I don't want to be, you know, this or this or this or this or whatever. And either you're giving yourself an ultimatum, somebody else is giving you an ultimatum, or you're giving someone an ultimatum, but it's not coming with an argument, right? So we have the Knight of Cups here with the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like you're trying to change the situation softly. Like, I feel like you're trying to change the way things are going to go and the way things are going to play out, and to like add a little bit of softness to it, which is great. Like, that's a great way to do it. But here's the thing, is you're still holding on to the idea that you're holding everything up. And nothing can change if you stay in this stubborn state of mind. This Four of Pentacles on the Ten of Wands. That Four of Pentacles is really saying, like, this is my stance, and this is how stubborn I'm going to be about it. And that's that. That's just how it's going to go. So whatever it is that you're holding on to, part of you holding on to that is your fault. Even if it's somebody you've kind of offered up your services in a way. Let's see, the Lovers here. The idea of relationships. There's this thing that's happening when it comes to the idea of relationships for you. And I feel like it's ending. And part of you even is like in this state of mind that you're never going to find anybody else that's going to love you in that way or whatever. The bottom of the deck. Oh, look at that. The bottom of the deck is the Tower. Okay, so here's the thing. The Lovers is you. You're your own twin flame. Even if you have a really strong connection with someone, who you felt like they loved you in a different way than everybody else in your life ever loved you, you're still your own twin flame. I don't care. I mean, we all bought into it, you know? Here's the thing though, is that's what's beautiful, is that you're your own twin flame. So don't go breaking your own heart. Like literally that song, don't go breaking your heart. Even if I try. That song just started playing in my head, but don't break your own heart by projecting fear into a future that doesn't exist yet. Somebody's going to love you. Somebody already does love you. Six of Cups on the King of Pentacles. So if there is somebody from your past that is either still in your present, it feels like something is ending with someone. Felt like something was ending with someone in the Pisces reading as well. So if you have Pisces placements, you may want to go look at that. If not, neither here nor there, but Three of Swords, Queen of Cups, Ace of Swords. Either a water sign really hurts your feelings, or you create this Tower moment. I think for some of you, you are recognizing that you want your life to look a certain way. This surrender to the attachment to results is what I'm getting pulled to. And I think part of that is the way that you want your relationships to look too. And we have to remember that nothing is ever going to look exactly the way that we want it to. No matter what we do, no matter how far we go, no matter what. it's not always going to feel perfect, right? It's not always going to feel exactly the way that we want it to feel. Have the conversation. Here's the thing is you're just going to prolong the inevitable, feel like you're even more burdened by stuff. You don't need to be burdened by stuff, Aries. Your birthday season is coming. Some of you, it's already your birthday season coming in the end of March. The Tower feels like it is happening because you have willed it to happen. And no matter how long you try to hang on to a situation to make it go softer, it's going to go the way it's supposed to go. Just period. Like it's going to go the way it's supposed to go. So don't hold on to it any longer than you need to, because then you're just prolonging the suffering for you. All right. Okay, guys. Remember that I do have more Saturn in Pisces readings available, and the spring in March. I love you guys. Bye.